Uh, there's how to get a bit of water there. Hope we're all doing good. I'm doing good. We're gonna be continuing Esoteric Ebb again from yesterday. Uh, so far I spent the 5 hours that I was awake just kind of yapping and like reading books. But now we're actually gonna do something. We're gonna do our job, which is to go and visit the, I believe it is the Goblin Chieftain. You're here on request of Lady Sageleaf, a Goblin Chieftain in Tolstad. Go see her right away. She's in the Goblin Garden at the southern tip of Tolstad. Yeah. So you gotta go see Lady Sageleaf, and I was supposed to do that, 4 hours ago. So hopefully nothing bad happens. Nature seeps through the cracks. Snell, Goblin Forest, level 3 rogue. This goblin gets shit done, no matter the odds. Highly competent, but with a craving of validation. Just look at the way he dresses himself. He just kind of dripped out. Snell's notepad, +1 dexterity, +1 charisma, -2 strength. But it's a DC 7 check. I'll just talk to him. You find a goblin standing at the tip of Tolstad. His clothes are fit for a Reedsian trader, and his haircut is fit for an Ascani nobleman, a superficial fellow. Why did my voice just sound like that? A superficial fellow. Behind him, a vast view of the mouth of River Torna. The goblin cares much about looks. You catch him immediately glancing at your outfit.
Huh?
Let me guess. You're the cleric. Taking you for granted, this goblin needs to learn humility. Yes, I am the cleric. That's me. He nods, looking tired and annoyed. You feel a growing pull towards being a cleric. I'm Snell, runner and handler of the HWBT. Old lady's been waiting for you. This old lady must be his chieftain, the matriarch of his tribe. Greet the goblin kindly. This is the beginning of a great cultural cooperation and exchange. Right. Time to mingle with the lesser cultures. One of those goblin salutes would indeed be perfect here. HWBT? The halfway bridge tribe. He seemed surprised to have to explain that to you. Old lady? The lady of below, the dragon of Tolstad. He raised an eyebrow. Lady Sageleaf. He's been waiting for you, cleric. Squat down. Hello, goblin. Nope. Nope. Snell gestures for you to get up. Stop. No squatting. That's not how you do it. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. It doesn't matter. Just don't, okay? So I just, what, look down on you? Yes, cleric. You look down on me. Stop squatting. Thank you. I am from the local government. I don't want to do that, because I'm not a goblin, and that seems a little, potentially racist. I know. We don't get Earthguard here often. Especially clerics. Right, you were expecting me. Sure was. Still are. So... The goblin looks around, clearly struggling to find the right words. Sleep deprived? Okay. Right. Head down to the garden throne, but, he waves his claw towards you. What's all this? You look like a human shit. He's making a playful jab. Don't worry about it. The gal! You should teach him a lesson. Whatever do you mean? What I mean, You're covered in grime. I like being dirty. Good for you. Seriously, just great for you. Just dust yourself off. The dragon's waiting, and trust me, you don't want to disappoint her. Even further. Is she spooky? Yeah, real scary. Insult her and she'll bite your head off. Then she'll scorch your corpse to dust. A jest, I'm sure. He laughs and crosses his arms. But seriously, she will fuck you up if you annoy her. Not a jest. I'm not afraid of her. Famous last words. Tell me more about this lady. Sure, for starters, she's the most powerful woman in Norvik. And considering there was an explosion yesterday right in the middle of her territory, I think it's about time you do your damn job, cleric. Okay, lead me to her. Good, but just to make it perfectly clear, some ground rules. Don't say anything stupid. Don't climb the trees. Stay away from the edges. And, he grins, showing off his polished fangs. Enjoy the garden, cleric. The goblin scurries down the stairs. He seems to be in a hurry. He's nervous. That makes you nervous. She's just another warlord fighting over scraps. Don't let her get to you. You look out over the river. Bleh. The cold Ascani wind seeps through the cracks of your helmet. Earth be blessed. He is always with you. Follow him down the stairs. You do so, with great stride. Yeah, sure. The sacred river fights against the red rocks. These railings follow the Safety Council standards of 22. Is this her? Nesson of the Green. I'm not saying that. I'm gonna mess that pronunciation up so hard. Elf, PML, level 6 druid, unbothered, moisturized, happy, in her lane. She's focused on her work, but she does not seek strife. She will help you if you do not pose a threat. Her knowledge goes deep, far below the city. Learn from her in her loneliness. Okay, so that's not her. Your stomach twists. Beware her illusion. The dragon herself. Goblin Forest, level 18 chieftain, chaotic good. Those are some crazy stats. Something is very wrong. Her eyes are striking your soul. Hold on to that feeling or you will be consumed. She wields power you could only dream of, yet her actions betray her nature. Evil? Good? Is selfishness for one's own tribe the defining trait? This creature is no goblin. Though her desire lies heavily invested within this tribe, she is far older and far more dangerous than all these servants of hers combined. You approach the throne. The sprites flutter, their glow illuminating the trunk of this great tree. Its roots reach far below, its branches holding up the dirt ceiling above. On the throne sits a tiny goblin, her smirk as bright as it is threatening. Her eyes follow you with an intensity. Reminds you of a certain pale man. So this is the dragon. Yes, I can see it. Her glare is magnificent. Cleric of Norvik, of earth and river. Her shrill voice echoes out through the chamber. She's talking to you. You're the cleric. Yeah, I knew that. Thank you, wisdom. I was assured by your masters. The top brass of the palace itself. Her words are tainted in disdain. Her voice causes you to shiver. They told me a cleric of the highest standing would arrive within the hour. So tell me, human. You should run. No, wait, you can't, but you should. Dominion. She has control here. Why am I sitting here, waiting? It's not that late. It's only been like a day. An immense presence. You have no power here. Every word you say here could have a profound impact on the rest of this quest of yours. I had an accident. She scoffs. Yes, I know about your little trip down the river. That is no excuse. How do you know about the river? Her eyes meet yours, glaring. She was told. These are my streets doubling? Nothing eludes me. Except the fact that a tea shop exploded under her watch. Oh, I'm gonna say that. A frown spreads across her face. She clicks her tongue behind a set of sharp teeth. Your insides are trying to become not. Her force of personality is enough to break you. You should appease her. Hers is a frightful presence. Frightful presence. Some powerful creatures have auras that cause fear to those near. To fail means of coming to mindless terror along with other annoying effects. You can't take this much longer. You need to get out of here. Oh no. Oh, that's surprising. You brace your entire being as you meet her glare. With trembling innards, you resist. Such an incredible aura emanating from this creature. It must be esoteric in nature. She lifts her chin. You stand. Good. She's not impressed, just happy you did not completely lose your mind. The dragon leans on her armchair, letting out an exhausted groan. It is vexing to watch my streets descend so far. Are you even aware, cleric? A local business caught up in an inferno. In the middle of the day, right on Pillar Road. My road. The way she says that causes you to tremble. And yet, Magistrate Darrow, she spits out the name like it's a curse word. He alone believes the Halfway Bridge tribe does not have jurisdiction over this particular location. She appears to have been stewing over this annoyance for some time. Her anger is pure and intense. She's trying to reel it in. Sorry about that. Let's see. Why does Darrow say that? Because he's a fool born out of nepotism and alcohol. Horrific slander. Sounds awesome. Where's your usual jurisdiction? She leans back and picks something from between her fangs. I have an official recognition of law in Lower Tolstad. The definition of that has always been vague. Some see it as anything below ground, some as below water level. And where exactly is the tea shop located? She glares at you. It is, or was, rented out on a corner of the central fort, just above the holes next to the pillar. She snaps her fingers towards the goblin to her right. That means it's a part of the core foundation of this island fortress. Therefore, that property is legally an underground rental unit, he says, bowing his head. Lady. My people have been handling that damn crow's contract for years. But no. Suddenly, when the entire unit goes up in flames, that's when my people no longer have the right to enter the premises, to deal with it, to clean up even. No, suddenly it is the city's business, and we should keep our noses out of it. Corruption, plain and simple. Sounds shady, I'm not gonna lie. Her sharp glare stabs you. Normal business in Norvik. And don't get me started on the actual effect this has on my people. Snell, she says, and beckons towards the comely goblin. He approaches the roots and takes a bow. Lady Sageleaf. Then he turns to you. The magistrate says that it was an accident involving a fireplace. They've yet to send anyone in to actually investigate the scene. How can I know that? What? I said, how can you know that? No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you really didn't, you said. Snell. The goblin scratches his neck. He glances towards his lady. We've kept an eye on it. The explosion occurred on the 21st of March, just past noon. 3 minor injuries were reported in the area. Luckily, foot traffic was low at the time of the incident, so despite the massive kaboom, no dead folks. Who are the injured? We only managed to get one name in the chaos. A certain Frank, son of Frank, was said to have walked away with lesser burns. That's the sort of prefix used by Earthfolk, a human most likely. He was apparently dressed in a fancy yellow outfit, whatever that means. Beyond that, we have some conflicting accounts. One person said, quote, he looked like one of them dungeoneers, you hear? A real adventuring man, end quote. Another said he was looking to get out of trouble, heading right down the stairs to Waterlane. Dungeon or Waterlane? Both sound like trouble. Frank, son of Frank? Yeah. Really? Yeah. A dungeoneer? If you believe it, that comment was from one of the militia members. Blah. Could be smart to check the city below just in case, despite the dangers. Down to Waterlane? Yeah. Seems like he was heading in that direction, though down can mean a number of things, Waterlane included. Fancy yellow outfit? I'm assuming some type of Reedsian fashion. Was he inside at the time? I doubt it, he says, considering the state of the building. Why was he there? We don't know. He is annoyed to have to answer that question. Where is he now? We don't know. Sounds like you were handed a tough hand. Yeah. Although one of the militia members mentioned him just calmly walking away, down the stairs. Maybe down to the crossing, or somewhere else. We don't know. Anything else you do know? Snell gives you a nervous look to his master before answering you. We have theories, but we need proof. The lady raises her claw. The unveiling has begun, cleric. Secrets in the ashes. Corruption. Madness. She claws at her wooden throne. Politics. Rambling of fools. Bureaucracy wears her down. This is clearly the work of a rogue spellcaster, someone who cannot go unpunished. A spell would indeed be the logical answer for such destruction. I will bring justice to Norvik. I certainly hope so. The lady clears her throat, aggressively. I declare a joint venture. The Halfway Bridge tribe shall investigate the tea shop on Pillar Road and bring justice to those who seek to harm the peace. This Earthguard city cleric shall follow along. No creature, foul or fair, shall escape my rage. Not even you, cleric. The words seep out from her maw, burning the air. Her rage focused almost entirely on you. The goblin needs to be taken down a peg. She does not rule this city. And you do? No, but I serve. Interesting. You made her mad, but she holds it in. It's almost like she begrudgingly respects your stubbornness. Cool. Of course she does. What kind of man would fall to his knees in front of a strange goblin queen? No, this is your investigation. You must take and keep control of it until the end. Every goblin in the chamber looks upon Lady Sageleaf in awe. She is theirs to serve. The dragon has spoken. Ooh, I don't wanna piss her off. Nod solemnly. Good cleric. Did I died? Why did I die? What? Okay, so I guess I'm eating some I'm guessing eating an apple before I go talk to this lady. Oh my goodness. I just died after talking to her. Okay, let's go do a different route. I don't want to get her mad at me, because I guess she'll kill me by speaking to me. My apologies, lady. Her frown turned into a weary expression. Whatever. You're dancing on a fine line. Hers is a frightful presence. Okay. Hey, same roll as last time. Stand. Where exactly is this tea shop? Sounds shady. You want to check it out yourselves? Of course. Lady glances at him, to which he responds by making a nervous face. He's embarrassed. The explosion occurred. Okay. I think the gods. The gods? She says, her voice almost purring. I wonder. Anything else do you know? A rogue spellcaster. Isn't there an anti-magic task force we can call for? Why, yes there is, she exclaims. She points with a sharp finger. You. The Arcana Clerics of Earthguard, one of the few authorized spellcaster groups in the city, often used as a task force in esoteric events, accidents, and magical assaults. The lady closes, clears her throat loudly. Okay. The dragon has spoken. Not solemnly. She looks upon you with a grim expression. Okay, so she didn't want to kill me this time, so I guess it's because I didn't say that thing earlier. Okay. The goblin is worried. Her hope is that you step it up and take on this investigation properly. Her fear is that you will screw it up legendarily. Snell, she says, waving towards him. Yes, Lady Sageleaf, he says, bowing his head. You're the handler of this case. You've worked on it since the explosion. You know more than anyone. I want you to represent the tribe in this venture. Her face lights up. A goblin and a cleric. Together you will have access to both Upper and Lower Tolstad. His expression is that of shock. He did not expect this. Do not disappoint me, Snell. It appears you've received a party member on your divine mission. Sad I had to be a damn goblin. That's not sad. Do I have a say in this? No. Her eyes burrow into your soul. You're not strong enough to stand against her. A new member to the party! Yay! He ignores you. The goblin takes a deep bow. Yes, Lady Sageleaf, your will be done. The evil forces at work will go vanquished. Huzzah! Miska Sageleaf looks at you the way one observes kitchen mold. This guy? He's the one? Just keep him in line. First priority is a tea shop. We need to gain access. Your new goblin companion gives you a quick wave. Let's go, cleric. Snell has joined as a companion. You can speak with him if you need help finding your way across Tolstad. For as much as she told you, there's a danger you're missing here. The lady is keeping information from you. You should investigate the tea shop thoroughly. And we should also look for that witness. Yeah, our Frank, dressed in yellow. He winces. Either over on Water Lane or down in the city below. Yeah, the port of the dungeon. I suggest the port since it's slightly less life-threatening, generally speaking. And how do I gain access to the tea shop? Talk to your boss, Dara. Or, I guess he's not your direct boss or whatever, but you need to get an audience with him if you want to get inside the tea shop. Right, and where's this tea shop again? The goblin sighs. You know the massive pillar reaching endlessly up into the sky? Yeah, just west of that. Are you being sarcastic? No, not at all. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Neat. Yay.
Huh?
You approach your companion. Let's get on with it. Remind me, what were we doing again? Apart from disturbing the peace? He laughs. What do you want to know? I already know stuff about the tea shop. Everyone seems on edge around here. No wonder. Election's coming up. People would be high-strung even without this whole mess about the tea shop. It's a big deal, you know. We're voting for the future. Doesn't sound relevant to the tea shop thing. Politics is always relevant. Hell, depending on the outcome, this little operations of ours might not even be official anymore. If your bosses lose, that is, then who knows what'll happen. And of course, if they choose to leave peacefully. If. You don't think they would leave power? I think it'd be pretty optimistic to assume. If they did, that'd be neat. The first ever peaceful transfer of power in a major coastal state. First ever in history as we know it. Wouldn't that be something? He thinks it is naive. Naive and inspiring. What are you voting for? None of your business. He says it like it's its default response. Persuade him to reveal his dirty little political secrets. Hey, let's go. You need to be careful. This is clearly a sensitive subject. Flatter him, but not too much. How about your opinion is valuable to me? I'd be honored to hear your thoughts on the election. I love you. Really laying it on thick, huh? Okay. Okay, hear me out. I respect your right to privacy. I simply hope you're making an informed decision. Oh, I like it. Affirming his position while subtly hinting about his inability to make a rational choice. Devious. Let's go with that. The goblin tilts his head to the side. Are you okay, cleric? I respect your right to privacy. I simply hope you're making an informed decision. Of course I am. The Asgalists stand for all underground societies. They see no difference between folk and class. With them in charge, Norvik would see the same prosperity known to all in the kingdom's eye. An Asgalist? Didn't expect that. The traditional tribal goblin commune is one of the anarchy and libertarian ideals. It would make sense for a goblin to leave lean onto its roots at a time of change. You're a goddamn bleeding heart, Snell? Ain't about helping people. It's about easing this constant struggle, the hustle, level the playing field. You feel the pain, watching others take what you deserved, what you fought for. They do not earn any of it. The feeling is subtle, as if you buried it a long time ago. Crying over stolen milk like a bitch. Maybe even let the small folk bleed for a change. Easing the struggle. Fight back tears. You feel it welling up. The emotion. The empathy. You're such a good person for feeling this. Cleric, stop. Listen to the goblin. Don't be a pussy. Your face is covered. He cannot see, so it is okay. Release it. Let it go. This is good for you. Keep it in. Be strong. We should keep moving, Cleric. Lots to do, right at this moment. Come on, now. You sob quietly, loudly within your helmet. The emotions fade, slowly. The gate was not opened. One day, you will break, and you will feel. Okay, sob. He looks terribly concerned. Okay, great. Love it. Let's go. I don't want to go solo. So what's your position in all this? Whatever do you mean by that, Cleric? What's your angle? I'm here on behalf of Lady Sageleaf. Her will is for the streets of Tolstad to not suddenly burst into flames in the middle of the day. Her will be done, so to say. What if it bursts into flames in the middle of the night instead? I don't think she'd like that either. But why are you really here? My motives are not of interest, Cleric. He does not want to disclose his inner feelings to you. Understandable. You're kind of creepy. No, I'm not. You got any family? I'm a goblin. What do you think? Goblins normally live in tribal societies with a broad family structure. Your companion most likely has at the very least a dozen or so siblings. Any less would be remarkable, even in Norvik. Why would you care about goblin family structures? They don't even have their own culture. That was the point of their genocide. Well, I don't know. He sighs. Yeah, I got lots of siblings. Duh. You got no offspring, though. Thank the gods for that. Why would you say that? Kids are wonderful. Oh no, I'm not getting into that. Ask me about literally anything else. But, no. I have some other questions. Really? How inspiring. Where do I sleep tonight? I don't know, Cleric. He gives you a defeated look. Can't the city pay for something? You're a cleric, for God's sake. I can just not sleep. That's fine, right? Are you asking for permission? He sighs. They get exhausted if you don't sleep, Cleric. I don't need sleep. I'm not afraid of death. Sure. Let's go. Cleric, the lady leans back on her throne. You've returned. You resurrected me. That's a bit of a simplification, isn't it? I paid Viskin to resurrect you. What? Because you were foolish enough to get yourself killed right as you arrived on Tolstad. Like an idiot. I'm not an idiot. You're an... She lets out a roar. All the goblin workers in the garden stop for a second to stare at you. I keep pissing her off. Stare at her. Perhaps I should have told you the truth. Perhaps I should have not. Nonetheless, this is the case. You died in the river, you fell, and I did not want to wait for another damn cleric to waddle their way here in another week or so. So when your corpse was discovered, I decided to pay the cost of resurrection. You're welcome. Her words drip with poisonous venom. Did Snell know about this? No, Cleric. I didn't, actually. He sounds hurt. Perhaps she did not believe it to be relevant for him. She scoffs. You are busy, Snell, and I assumed it was better to leave you in the dark for now. I hope you're not cross with me. No, Lady Sageleaf. I'm just a bit shocked, I guess. Do you have some sort of shady deal with Viskin or something? That's not how I would describe it, but sure. We share information and have a mutually beneficial relationship. Like adults, we speak with one another, and sometimes I pay him to perform services. It's called business, nothing shady about it. Interesting. She hired the Pale Man for his power, but why would he work with her? Well, I'm happy to be alive, I guess. I'm happy you're alive too, Cleric, as long as it means you'll be performing your services here on Tolstad. So do that, then. Make me proud. She throws a glance to Snell. He bows his head. I have some other stuff in the tea shop to report. Tea shop first, Cleric. She scoffs. Focus on that first. Snell nods. The tea shop first. Tea shop first. Jeez, fine. Jeez, a common slang shortened from Jesus, often used to exclaim a sense of shock and/or annoyance. Jesus, a titan who roamed Ascani during the Fade era, famous for his visual similarity to a goose, only a lot bigger. Some ancient monuments found in modern-day Vizca seem to indicate that this titan died for the sins of all minor geese. Vizca, a collection of loose dwarven cities in northwestern Ascani, also known as the Vizca Kingdoms. Is this your garden? No, this is a sanctuary for all. I'm just its keeper. Take a deep breath. How? How does a garden function? We use naturally occurring light sprites. Natural? No. Magical. Must be left over of some old arcane experiment. This is no primal magic. It's something different. Primal magic, said to be the earliest and most feral type of magic. Primal, one of the three pillars of magic, it is represented in the natural, wild, savage, and elemental forces of yore. They cannot be controlled, only bargained with. Further below, we also cultivate a range of deep fungi. If you meet her, speak with my gardener. She can speak more on the subject. Do people live down here? Yes. Goblins. Goblins live down here, and other lower beings. Lower? No. They are greater than you think. So it's your garden. She sighs. Yes, I suppose you could say that. Got it. Nice garden. Thank you. So this HWBT, what exactly is it? She snorts. It's an affiliation, an organization, a family. Your family? Yes. That's a lot of kids. The lady raises her chin. Any goblinoid willing to serve the family is welcome to my loving embrace. Are you registered at the tithe house? Of course. What do you take me for? Some huckster? We're registered as a tribal organization, with some special regards. Why is it called the Halfway Bridge Tribe? She takes a deep breath. I say it's obvious. My people have lived in the tunnels of Tolstad for 5 generations. 5 goblin generations. That's around 50 years. The tunnels underneath the famous broken bridge of Norvik, the bridge that only reaches halfway across the river. When I united us, that name grew popular. What's your role here? My role? She cackles. I'm the director of operations. I have other questions. What are you voting in the upcoming election? You dare tread onto such volatile grounds? Here in my chambers? Yes. Really? It shakes. You dare ask me? Do you dare ask of my political opinions? I'm gonna die again. Yes. Okay. Well, I haven't decided. Oh. Her eyes dart around the chamber to her subjects. Then her gaze lands on you once more. Yet. That's the best answer you'll get. So you're not leaning in any particular direction, or... No. And I encourage every one of my subjects to think for themselves on what they wish to vote. She knows every goblin in her tribe will just vote for her preferred party, if she were to express her thoughts. So she doesn't, to keep the tribe unaligned. Huh. She's cool. Alright. This... Okay. So... Okay, so I completed these quests. Okay. I have to go to the tea shop, I suppose. But she said I can also go talk to her gardener, so I guess it's her. Steal. Speak with animals. Swamp extract. No. You approach your companion. No, not you, Snell. The lady. At the top of the garden lookout, you see a strange creature hunched over. She's making potions. Underneath a large red hat, her drooping gaze slowly glides towards you. Not a hat. She's got an actual mushroom growing out of her skull. The elf drops a final piece of mushroom onto the bowl on the table and gives you a creepy grin. Nice corner you got here. Slowly, and in an appropriately dramatic fashion, she widens her eyes to reveal piercing red pupils. And her grin widens even more, somehow. Ears, white hair, ashen hue. And those eyes. Snell seems to stay behind a bit. The goblin is staring into the wall. He looks queasy. An elf? Aren't they rare? In your days, you've seen only a handful of those gangly freaks. The city holds many folk, but elves are both few in numbers and seldom intermingle with lesser races. But look at her. This is no elf of Ilum. Ilum, an ancient elven empire, now a shell of its former self. Once ruled by Ilum the Mender, a walking god who signed a treaty with Earth. Their great woodsland stand at the border between Ascot and Reeds. This is an elf of Pamia. Pamia, the elven enclaves who live on the Undercoast, also known as Dark Elves, although that's a bit on the nose. Hello, elf. You hear a guttural chuckle leave her lips. A man delves into the garden, his sight set on the mysterious below. Are you that man? Am I that man? More or less. Creepy. Is she trying to intimidate you? Maybe. Nervously glance over your shoulder. You see Snell trying desperately to not enter the conversation. Your feelings are not focused. That is okay. The elf stammers, can't even speak good. The elf does not as much stammer as she tastes some words more than others. Not a speech impediment. It is her undercoast accent seeping through. She turns around, her eyes glimmering beyond a mist of spores. Oh god, I gotta say it. Ness Wicala of the Green. Call me Nessun. I'm an underling to Hierophant Edina? I'm not gonna say that again. A legendary archdruid of the Undercoast, known for keeping balance, which usually means stopping any proper seafaring civilization from taking hold of the Dark Archipelago. The thousands of islets and/or speleothems found across the Undercoast. Of course, a druid. Druid, primal spellcaster, often balance keeping actors across and below the coast, known to commune with flora and fauna. As you look into her eyes, you can feel it. She communes with nature itself on the regular. You're a spellcaster. She just gives you a goofy smile and a nod. I spent my days handling primal forces, that which grows and decays. Do you know much of it? Yeah, they went over the basics at the towers. The towers? Ah, your wizard school. More or less, yeah. She lowers her gaze for what you realize is the first time since she raised it. I'd like to hear your tale, human. There is much to be learned from your folk and your settlement in this band. She speaks as though the Earth folks' 60-something years of civilization building is nothing but a footnote in her history book. How sustainable is your lifestyle? Sustainable? How do you replenish the resources you consume? And if you do not, how many years until depletion? I'm supposed to know that? I do not mean an exact number of hours or even years until you run out of natural resources. Just an approximation, and perhaps a toll of the impacts on others in your vicinity. You mean in particular, or my people? Both, or either. She presses down a mushroom in her bowl, sending a puff of spores into the air. I swear to God, I can make a misspeaking compilation by the time I'm finished this. Sending, a third-level evocation spell commonly used as direct communication between powerful individuals, city-states, or arcanists. The Norvikian Sending Office employs many clerics for the express purpose of casting sending across the coast. Sending Office, a house full of clerics casting the sending spell all day, an important tool for long-distance communication. Want an answer now? If you have it. But there is no stress. Think about it. To keep one balanced with the primal forces of the land is the only just way to live. What was the question again? She tilts her head, a smirk spreading on her lips. How sustainable is your lifestyle? We live in balance here in the city. You truly believe that? I hope so. She smiles. Hope is a good thing. It might lead you down the right trail. I've watched your people for some time, from a distance. I am not one to make judgments. That is for the earth and sea. But it worries me how few primal forces there are to keep you at bay. Primal forces? She places a palm against the rough floor. Oh, God, I gotta say this again. Ophidina has helped keep the undersea from being overtaken by unbalancing powers. Demigods, fiends, celestials, your human arcanists. Each creates a power that not only overtakes the primal, they do so with ease. That great warrior kind waged upon one another delayed it, but I do certainly believe it is inevitable. She speaks of the unsustainable nature of magic. The primal is just another of those powers she mentions. It can be tamed. It should be. Don't worry, nature always survives. I'll be optimistic. Most often it does, but look at your so-called burned coast, and those cursed lands in Dimenor. She means reeds. Dimenor is the old name. She should have called it Old Dimenor. Nature makes it through most things, but there are forces in this world that can wring the life out of every band if it so wishes. Magic is not what it used to be, but she is wise to stay. We must stay vigilant. She takes a deep and deliberate breath. Now enough of complicated topics. Tell me, human, do you have a mate? I'm gonna die by getting asked this question. The elf speaks of nature as a close ally. You should... Wait, what did she just ask? Stare at her. Combat? Am I about to fight this lady because she asked me if I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Well? No. No. Not good. Your companion takes a few steps further away. Calm down. This is not a hostile situation. Elaborate. Of course. I apologize if I was vague, human. I only mean most humans in the settlement group in pairs. I wondered if those of your kind do the same. Form such long-term committed relationships? Or partnerships, sorry. She did not have ill intent in her original inquiry. I've got Snell. As you turn around, you see your partner half hiding behind the corner. I refute that. Sad to say, your partner doesn't seem as committed, she quips. She lowers her mushroom cap and sighs. I see. It is the same here, then. The path of an esoteric guardian is to be alone. You're never alone, even when it feels like you are. The elf starts adding some kind of oily liquid to her mushroom bowl. It's just olive oil, cheap brand. If this old elf can guide you in any way, make it so. If not, I will return to my toil. Show your prime -5 if she finds you reasonable. Okay. What do you know about the tea shop? Only what the roots whispered in me. The elf leans closer, twisting her head to the side. You must delve deep, human. Something rotten happened that day. The green quakes. They fear what's to come. They whisper. Oh. Do they whisper anything useful? She leans back and lets out a resigned sigh. You do not speak with trees often, do you? You should stop and listen more. So you were there when it exploded? Oh no, you were here when it exploded. No, I was much further below. And what do the goblins whisper about? That the city is at fault. That Lady Sageleaf should take over. The usual. And what do you think happened? I will not deliberate on things I have no knowledge about. Refreshing sentiment. Thanks. You're welcome. What are you voting in the election? I'm not a citizen of Norvik. According to city laws, universal suffrage includes any inhabitants of Norvikian soil as of the 1st of Ingarmi, 26. How long have you lived here? About a year. How so? That makes you a citizen. Oh, she's taken aback by these news. Don't I get a say in that? If you don't tell the government, you're probably fine. Then perhaps I won't. Thank you, human. You don't look like an elf. What do elves look like? Yim elves are monstrous, Ilum elves are tree-like, Pimia elves are simply grave. Yim, one of the 8 bands along the coast. Great homeland of the elusive and isolationist high elves, a land of artificial forests, crags covered in eternal darkness, and roots burrowing into the very coast itself. The Yim have fought a losing battle against devils and celestials for millennia, but their authoritarian society still lives within those great walls. I suppose there are many kinds of elves. She nods. We do not call ourselves that, but to your people, yes, I am an elf. Pimia. She closes her eyes. I don't want to missay that. We are elves of the stars. Stars, the occurrence of distant celestial bodies appearing upon the sky. If anti-Sepalian witnesses are to be believed, many old worlds had old skies filled with thousands of these gleaming lights. Pimia is our name for their people, but it is not correct. Remember that. Any questions? I'm not saying that. You speak Elvish impressive. She looks to the side, then back to you. Your grasp on the human tongue is remarkable as well. She's too kind. Do your people have a great civilization below? No. I believe your people would call us nomads. So you're from the Undercoast. How do I get there? Holes and tunnels. There are more than enough, even within viewing distance. Though I'd recommend getting Lady Sageleaf's approval first. I've got some other questions. Yes? Hey, Snell, why are you acting weird? Shut up. He turns away from you and the mushroom lady. Do not worry. The lady's runner here is not a fan of fungi. I'm just keeping a safe distance, alright? He takes a few more steps away. Your companion must have had a bad experience with mushrooms at some point. You should inquire about that later. I'll try this. I have a decent shot. Damn, no I don't. How could you do such a thing? To prove attunement requires years of training. You've perhaps done a few exercises in your spare time, and you've read about druidic magic, but perhaps you can try it anyway. I have to try. Kneel and focus. You focus your mind on the nature around, the life, the decay, the funny-looking mushrooms, but you cannot sense it. Nothing. Why isn't this working? It takes time, practice, patience. Maybe if I start clenching, you move from mind to muscle. You keep clenching. Pressure. Pain. Oh my goodness. Perhaps this was a foolish choice. Ouch. But pain can be a good teacher. Perhaps you've learned something here. The elf keeps working on her brew. Okay, that lowered it. Alright, I'll try another time. Oh. Convince Nessun to teach you magic. Primal magic if you're so inclined. I like that. Okay. I guess we gotta go to the tea shop. What's this? A long tunnel going towards the holes. Okay, no, I gotta go to the tea shop. Those before left many holes in the Berggrund. Actually, can I ask her for permission to go to the Undercoast? No. A tunnel to Central Tolstad. That seems correct. What? Where does this go then? A tunnel to the lower layer. Viskin's Lich House must be located within these walls. It's a bit further up. Okay, I see. Okay. So I guess I want to go to Central Tolstad? An almost intact and endlessly rising pillar, the centerpiece of Norvik. The Pillar of Yore. Pillar of Yore, an esoteric relic left after the end of the Gate era. There are 8 of these pillars around the coast, or 4 if you believe the theories of a wrapping circular coast, and they are indestructible, although there is some esoteric power within them. No one has been able to make use of them at all. You look up at the pillar. The pillar rises upwards, endlessly upwards. The central landmark of Norvik, the symbol of Earth's conquest. The Day took the red rocks and slayed the Troll King. He looked upon this pillar and declared this a sacred spot for all Norvikians, for all Earthfolk. It was here before Earth, and it will be here after you, remaining until the end. It looks a bit broken, cracked. Yes. While the pillar is indestructible, it was once under heavy siege during the most intense moments of the Gate War. Several pieces of the pillar float around in the air, especially as it reaches upwards into the clouds above the city. What kind of power would be capable of damaging this? Gods. The most powerful of Arcanists. Can I make money off this thing? No way. They don't even take admission to see it, since it's such a trivial sight. It's a bit of a tourist destination, supposedly, but most people who travel the coast have seen one before, so it's not that interesting. How many of these pillars exist? 8. Technically 4, depending on which scholar you ask. There are debates as to whether there are 8 pillars, 1 on each band, or simply 4 pillars that piece a circular coast and stick out on either side. But ours is the best one, right? They're all equally useless. It's a sign of Earth's power, so yes, this is the best one. But the fact is, no one has managed to make use of them in any way, despite their esoteric nature. So the pillars of yore are relegated to being visual landmarks seen from across the coast through clouds and mist for miles. So what do I do with it? Nothing. It's just a rock to you. A tingly, esoteric rock. You can always attempt to focus on it. Learn from this ancient relic. Get closer. As you do, you feel the air itself tingle. Power. Listen. He's speaking to you. Touch the pillar. Touch the wondrous pillar. You place your hand upon the smooth surface. The whisper gets louder. It says something to you. Something weird. The conversation? Getty could try to join in. Okay. No! Closing your eyes, you begin to focus. Your mind placed squarely at this esoteric force. Your mind forms into an arrow, and you fire it forward, but it is repelled. Opening your eyes, your hand is no longer pressed against the cold surface of the pillar. You're instead holding it against your heart, shaking. This is wrong. Yes. Try again later. Whatever is whispering to you from beyond is more powerful than you imagined. The depths of Tolsad. A sign says, dormitory, out of commission. I can't get up here. Oh, there we go. Freitas. Okay. Human, earth folk, level 5 noble. She's dressed in a fine silken robe like a noblewoman. Her hair is short and coarse, the rebellious kind, but earth folk nobility nonetheless. Why is she down here? Not many of her kind seek the company of water lane workers and goblins. Wait, can I take anything? Crowns? That's too risky for me. The girl looks across the chasm. She's pretending not to look at you. Clear your throat loudly. She slowly turns her head towards you. What? Why are you looking at me? I wasn't. How rude. Cool. You're very rude. Sure, now go away. Charm person? Maybe. But she's a noble, so it might be risky. What do you know about the tea shop, mysterious woman? She rolls her eyes. It exploded. Why do you say that? Have you seen it? I get the feeling you don't want to talk about it. Don't have anything to say. What are you voting in the election? Don't care for it. The election? I don't. Doesn't matter. And I wouldn't tell you if it did. Well, I'm voting for the party of Norvik. Oh, okay. I don't care. I want to ask you some personal questions, but I have a feeling you won't respond in any meaningful way. Smart. Can you go now? I gotta try it. Counterspell? Oh, shit. You attempt to cast a spell, but... What? She resisted. Who the hell is this? Did you just try to... Her voice is shaky. Do you know who I am? Her anger is overflowing, but she's also deflecting. She strikes a pose that says, I am offended and rich. I am Freitas Darrow. Stop bothering me. This is the daughter of Nicholas Darrow. I'm sorry. Please spare me. She scoffs and looks at you like you're a pile of trash. She storms away, keeping her head high. Interesting outcome. What a strange lady. Why was she so mad? Because I used Charm Person on her. Tunnel to water lane view. The sound of docks echoes from beyond. I want to check out the tea shop first. The marking on the door says, Simi, son of Strokeback. You approach the door. Check who lives here. You glance at the door mailbox. It says Simi, one of the Asgals. Nice guy. Knock. You knock twice in a polite fashion. Knock. A second level transmutation. Unlocks things. The definition of locked has been stressed over the centuries, but the spell works on most closed containers or entryways. A long time passes. No one? No one? Guess I'll have to try again some other day. Knocking tomorrow might be a better day for knocking on this door. Guess I'll come back tomorrow. A rough carving on the door says, RNA. I don't live here. Okay, fair enough. I won't enter this random person's house. The slip box says Snell, HWBT. Oh, Snell lives here. It's a little bit high up. Damn, I can't reach that. Welcome to my pad. Go ahead, root around as much as you want. Don't mind if you do. Really? No, don't touch anything. He sighs. I'm not sure how this is in any way useful for the job, but let me know when you're done looking around. No, looking, nothing else. Live here alone? Yep. Doesn't it get lonely? I don't spend much time here. It's a cool place. Thanks. How long have you lived here? He glances at the ceiling. I don't know. 3 years? 4? Gods, has it been that long? What does it cost? $100 a month. Real cheap, but I got a special deal because of the HWBT gig. That's real good for such a fancy apartment. The old lady takes care of her own, eh? You like living here? It's central, right next to the garden. That's all I really care about, although the ventilation system is pretty sweet during those colder months. Ventilation system. Tolstad is full of tidy holes and air shafts. These circulate air from the river winds all throughout the tunnels. No one knows fully how they work, but they circulate both heated and cool air, most likely magical in nature. That's good information, thank you. He melts and gives you a side glance. What about you? Where do you live, cleric? I should lie, right? A lie? But that might make him dislike you. I could tell him the truth. Your body shakes. There's absolutely nothing wrong with your current living arrangements, and the goblin will not think lesser of you because of it. I live with my Bob. You do? It's honorable. Traditional family housing is good for society. That's a good point. Ugh. Dude, I could have died from that. I'm sick. Why did I have a 6 in con? Why did I do this? He does not mean harm. Yet, it hurts. Well, anyway. He tries to not linger on the subject since he sees your pain. I can't afford my own place. The economy is shit, I agree. She's not home a lot, so I mostly have it to myself. Oh, that makes it more understandable. I don't mean to get all personal, but if I had to live with my mother, I'd probably end up like one of those energy zombies. Energy zombie. An esoterically infused undead creature more akin to a ghost than a regular zombie. They are mostly harmless apart from slowly draining folk into exhaustion, common in the old city wall. Old city wall. The only part of the old wall still standing in full. It stands at an impressive height of 90 feet. It casts shadow upon the streets below. It's filled with apartments and businesses right in the heart of the housing district. The housing district. One of 5 districts in Norfolk, the poorer area on the west side of the river, named as such due to the earth folk originally being housed here while Earth cleared out the ruins of what is now known as the Palace. Explains why he's so against the idea of generational housing. I used to live in the towers, but they kicked me out. Huh. Can I ask why? Maybe. Okay. Look, they just had some problems with some of my writing. Your writing? What? Can't be that bad at spelling, eh? Idiotic comment. Spelling. Ha! Because you're a cleric, casting spells. I got a new patriarch who didn't like me, and then when I presented an argument for a Republican revolution without the influence of the free cities, they said it was a misuse of state resources, and then they branded me with a minor case of dereliction. Really, it's all overblown, and Bjorn uses the same copper press all the time for a bunch of personal stuff, and he never gets in trouble over it, so it just seems really overblown to me, and yeah. He listens to your rant with an intense interest. So they can just do that? Toss you out? Apparently. Well, sounds like bullshit. But you're still employed as a cleric? Of course, this is just a disciplinary action. They've been mad at me since I refused to register as a member of the Party of Norfolk. Interesting. So this whole thing is sort of like a redemption run for you then. Solving the mystery of the tea shop that exploded and so on. Rejoin the fold. It doesn't matter. Once the election is over, I'll go back to doing Ascalus activism, like in the good old days. You sure have had a lot of political aspirations, haven't you? That was a wild kid. He gives you a slow nod. As per usual, good luck with that. Let's talk about something else, please. How much is rent? Not so bad, thanks to the old lady. She looks after her own. Not every goblin is so lucky. Yeah, I've noticed... actually, no, what do you mean? You know that there are 3 tribes in the city, right? The halfways get by real well, thanks to Lady Sageleaf. But it didn't used to be that way, and most goblins have a real hard time getting by here. Most guilds won't exactly hire a goblin like that. What? That's illegal. I know. Doesn't stop them. We're not human, so by default, on average, we're not trusted. Back in the day, there were apparently a bunch of programs meant to push us into the workforce. Anti-discrimination laws, Goblin Works project, but the support for those ran out way before I was born. So most kids just fall into crime. They can't do that. In Norvik, it's illegal to be a criminal. That's arguably one of the dumbest things you've ever said. Dumbest thing so far. Hold up a finger. He sighs. Imagine you're a goblin kid. You spend most of your days in the warren with 20 others your age. There's barely any resources to actually teach you all the human stuff you're legally forced to be taught. If you're lucky, you've got one parent with a stable income. Otherwise, you'll be living in the dormitories. No support system. No change to integrate into this city you're supposed to be living in. If you're lucky, you'll get a dangerous gig in the tunnels. If not, the only way for you to get money for food beyond the basic handouts is joining a syndicate. They recruit young to keep you in the juvenile and stockade if you get caught, starting as an errand boy, ending up as whatever they need for their enterprises. Then you bring home a heavy pouch of crowns for your mom and pops. What are they going to do? Turn their little kid in? Or accept the only major income the household's gotten in months? Maybe they'll even encourage you, push you to get real friendly with the local runner. Weren't you a runner? Runner and handler. Yeah. It's complicated, but the Halfway Bridge tribe is classified as a syndicate. We run things in a similar sense to the Ishki and the NMBT, except we do things strictly by the book. We don't run drugs, for one. We keep Waterlane free of smuggling. But most importantly, we keep the youth out of it, and we keep the other tribes at an arm's length. Lady Sageleaf is real draconian in that regard. Everyone, and I mean everyone in our tribe, gets a job at a good salary. We tried pushing this method, our support system, onto the other tribes, but it's hard. And it's not always popular. We're the small, annoying cultist tribe of Tolstad, after all. He sighs. Again. So it is what it is. He cares about this. A lot. You do too. You're working hard for your lady. I sure do. You catch him glancing at the image of her on the board. It's a nice apartment. Yeah, I'm not here a lot. The goblin laughs. I'd argue it's much better than usual. One time I was on a date, brought her back here. Terrible idea. The day was already going poorly. Imagine her expression when she steps in here, and there's a pile of reports all over the floor, a blocked drain in the kitchen sink, and 15 confiscated bowls of pixie dust piled in the corner. Let me tell you, it took her 10 seconds to come up with an excuse. As his laughter fades, he looks around the place and tells you, anyway, looks better these days. I figured if I'm such a neat goblin like everyone says, I might as well keep my apartment clean too. A girl? Yeah. Back when I was still looking for that sort of thing. You know, getting tied down, so on. In the metaphorical sense? What about you? The question— oh my goodness, I need to stop dying because someone asked me if I have a partner in my life. Cure wounds. I need to cast this or else I'm actually gonna die in a conversation. That's nice. The question cuts tiny little holes in your inside skull. Clerics are popular, right? Avoid, abort, alert. He's not allowed to ask you personal things like that. Tactfully change the subject. Nice. He's expecting an answer, so you're going to have to give one. Not a lie, though. You can't handle that right now. Too much pressure, clearly. Too much. Yeah, listen to your gut. So what do I say? Just keep it nice. Dismiss a question in a nice way. Like this. Clear your throat. Nothing lately. I'm busy with work. Be cool. Now. Change the subject now. You seem like the type to be busy with work, too. Oh, yes. For the last few years, I've just been focused on the halfways, and wherever the old lady needs me. Don't mean to sound ungrateful, though. I do love it. It's real rewarding. What kind of reward? Like, treasure? Treasure of the soul? Sounds esoteric. The goblin takes a breath. I'd tell you to look at it from a goblin perspective, but let me put it like this. Lady Sageleaf gave me options in a world of railroad tracks. I get to help my people and get real fucking good at it. So for now, I'm gonna keep doing it. Better than getting bored. That's for sure. This definitely is not the type of job that ever leaves you bored. He grins. Anyhow, anything else you wanna chat about, or can we get going? Oh, good. A mass-produced glowstone lantern. A glowstone lantern. It appears to be non-functional. What's wrong with it? The glowstone inside must be malfunctioning. A common issue with these cheaply post-war era produced lanterns. Hey, Snell, you need help fixing this thing? That's okay, Cleric. The goblin does not know what's best for him. I got this. Too easy. What the hell was that? You spend a few minutes looking it over, realizing a bit later than you should have that there's an esoteric effect on the lantern itself. Investigating it further reveals the issue, the glowstone's connection with the flimsy metal plate around it. While the heat remained and the stone itself is quite hot, its weak esoteric light was esoterically spread across the full surface of the lantern instead of focused on the glowstone itself. Reattach the glowstone without burning yourself. With a quick snap, light returns to the lantern. Such a simple solution. You should have come up with it quicker. I fixed the lamps now. Huh. Thanks. He gives you a thumbs up. Now you won't have to trip when going to the bathroom in the middle of the night anymore. That's not really a problem, you know. He points at his eyes. Dark vision. Then why do you have a lamp? It's not perfect dark vision. He stretches a bit. But yeah, the fixed lamp will help. Thanks again, Cleric. I'm so good at tinkering with stuff. You're slightly above average. Which says more about the average than it does about you. Nice. You do not need to relieve yourself. Ah, bagatelle. The goblin has some good taste then. One of Snell's boxes. Ooh. I mean, I'll take it. Found 15 extra crowns. Let's go. How rich am I? Nice. Snell's work. You stand before a wooden board covered in sketches of various people. Each of them connected via long threads. What's this, Snell? He looks over to you from across the apartment. Ah, yeah. Project Visualizer. Helps me keep track of jobs. You can check it out if you want. Haven't done much other than a basic outline on the tea shop yet. I've been busy with all this running around. Looks like a ton of work. It's not really. Haven't had that much downtime yet. Once we're finished, I'll make sure to compile it into a proper report for the old lady. Look closer at the sketches. You see several faces you recognize and some you don't. A bird man with a black and white pattern, along with the note, tea shop owner. A bulky merman with the text, rival? No, unambitious. A stout-looking dwarf in uniform with a hammer symbol in the corner. Patron? A stylish orc with a free strider heart symbol in the corner. Completely unaffiliated, suspicious. A pale man holding a skull. No motive. A human with a fancy beard and a fish symbol in the corner. Suppressing info, beware. Then finally, look over the central piece, the beautiful rendition of Lady Sageleaf herself. The sketch is wonderful, a depiction of love. Her note reads, enemies, spies, city conspiracy. Interesting. Expensive material. So you stand before a simple bread frame. Look at the mattress. The mattress is extra thick. Probably expensive. It's half and half silk material. They're known to allow the sleeper to dream into the ethereal plane. The material goes for extra in every outlet. However, the claim that these contain yim silk is ridiculous. Yim silk, thread spun by the elusive, incorporeal giant spiders of the Yimian burrow forest. It's a useful material in all manner of factory settings. Anything over a fraction would make the bed half invisible. A scam, then? Pretty damn good scam. Can I take a nap, Smell? Smell? No! I meant Snell! He doesn't smell. Snell does not smell. What? No! He yells from across the apartment. Do not even think about getting into my bed. You can join. You can join too. That's definitely worse. Come on, let's have a buddy nap. Even worse. Thanks, bed. Goodness. He sure is the type to have a photo of himself on the wall. Family. Alright, sorry, Snell. You don't really fit back there. Yeah, it's really small. Not exactly built for me. I hope I'm not missing anything. A winding path leads outside eventually. Oh, from here. Okay. Alright, so what's this way then? Drunk Sphinx opens at 18. Okay, well, it's 16 right now. Oh, there's a snail up there. Path up to Tolstad. Okay, I'm over here. A tree rising far above a show of nature's force. Look up at the branches of a bracken tree. It stands tall in the garden, towering over you. Bracken. An Ascani tree known for its impervious nature, sometimes called ironwood. The Ilim Forest holds the largest collection of bracken in the world. Ilim Forest, the great woodland covering most of the border between Ascan and Reed. It is the domain of the Ilim Elves. It is majestic. Nature is reaching tall and deep. These roots go below the city, nay, even below the river. Actually, the leaves are quite big. What's a bracken tree again? Like a birch, but thicker, made by primal forces of Ascani. The bracken tree originates from Ilim Forest and is today a major export resource in Ascani. It is quick to grow and flexible in its usage. That's the tree. Your hand lands firmly on the bark. Good tree. Strong tree. Connecting with the natural world. Well done. With the branches above. The wind causes the leaves to dance. Wait. Between the branches. High above. Oh. Oh! Is that a hole in the bark? A hollow. Just wide enough for you to stick your hand inside. Something glimmers up there. Treasure in a bird's nest. Really badly. Then again, risk and reward. The branch shudders in a sudden gust. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I suggest not doing that. Climb that tree. You grab onto the trunk. Pressing your entire... Oh god, I'm gone. Pressing your entire body against the rough bark, you slowly make your way upwards. No, 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 get down! Please get down from there, cleric. Okay. I will. I'll come back when I have a little more dex. Just get down slowly. Not worth it. Not at all. You decide to ignore the challenge of the tree and slowly inch your way to the bottom again. Sanity strikes like lightning, eh? Now can we go? Bye, tree. A green face is splattered across the facade. Facade, I don't know. Staring wildly towards a flaming sky and the dragon spread across it. Or something like that. Is that you, Snell? Ha! He says, not laughing. Funny. I do not know the guy who made it. Calls himself Goblin. He's a bit of a twat. Place your hand up on the wall. You take a step forward. The painted stone surface is smooth. This no cheap dwarven. Okay, I already did this stuff. Okay. Who's this guy? Braxo Pencilwing. Ooh. Devil, level 2 scribe. Surprisingly content. Hard worker. Has a nested interest in the current regime. Devils used to be allowed into the city only on work visas, so he could have served for several decades. Somehow you just know this devil would gladly organize a mass genocide against non-humans in this city. Huh. How nice. Huh. You raise your head toward the sky. Above you sits a tiny red creature. His wings flutter faintly in the wind. The fiend throws a quick glance your way. He's annoyed. Staring at a piece of paper, he does not acknowledge your presence. What you're reading? A sigh escapes the fiend's maw. He slowly puts down the paper. The paper is actually a torn-out page from a magazine. He appears to be reading an article on the latest debate. I like the funny pictures. I like the articles more. You can read? Congratulations. He's mocking you. Wait, he says, leaning in to get a good look at you. Earthguard? A cleric? Hell's you doing here? You can go wherever you want. Fuck off. I'm not allowed on Tolstad? Of course you're allowed here. It's not often you guys are here. I, for one, am very happy for your presence. This place has gone downhill since the city let the goblins and free striders run amok. We need some damn order in this place. Wise words. So if you need any legal advice, just let me know. He gives you his tiny, sharp smirk. You should be aware of the fact that this is literally a devil. A good little devil. Don't take advice from a parasite. Are you a barrister? A tiny barrister? No, I have no legal position within the city. I'm just fairly knowledgeable in the magistrate's code. So he works with city law. Ask him for details. He shows you a foul grin. So what type of work do you do? If you love what you do, you will never work a day of your life, he says with smirks. So what do you do? Me? I do scribing most days. Got some connections within the palace, and believe me, phew, that's got me through some tough times. See, whatever some rich asshole needs a legal draft in a hurry, who do they send for? The guy with the wigs, that's who. He does paperwork, but he must be highly knowledgeable in law. That sounds profitable. Sure is, although there's a lot of time spent waiting around too. So I've picked up some hobbies. What do you do in your spare time? Calligraphy. the art of writing and lettering, something you're quite familiar with as well. A true man knows the value of lettering. Oh, and I do love me some reading. Gaining access to the Darwin Library changed my life. Darwin Library, the largest public library in Norfolk. You spent many years in your youth inside those stony walls. What's it like being a little red guy? You want an honest answer or the one I tell my clients? Honest. Okay, let me put it like this. It fucking sucks donkey shit. Do you know what it takes to get a promotion these days? Tell me, brother. Is it expensive? Ooh, I wish. We're talking decades of servitude to some sadistic fuck that wants to return to Gorgrin's greatness or some shit like that. And then, after risking your life and humiliating yourself, there's a chance this fucking guy will put in the effort of promoting you. And if you're unlucky, you'll turn into a freaking bug. Or worse, something without wings. Being a devil is a harsh existence. It requires constant vigilance, hard work, and incredible natural talents to reach any type of high-tier devildom. You would do quite well as one. Tell me about these promotions. Sorry, I forgot not everyone knows how devil can work. Let me put it like this. Devils have a ranking system. Some are lower and some are higher. Only way to get higher and metamorphose into a more powerful creature is to be promoted by something with a higher rank. But hey, could be worse, he says, and cackles. Could be a demon. Demons are horrible, chaotic creatures that live by the rule of complete meritocracy, which would be amazing if it wasn't for the complete ineptitude at civilization building. What are you voting in the upcoming election? What am I voting for? Same as you, the little devil says with a laugh. The good guys? And that means... the city? Duh. The cities are quite literally feeding my trove at this point. You think I'd vote for someone on top of them? Wise choice. Gotta vote for the little guy, eh? Lets out an evil cackle. What a nice guy. No. Anyway, you wanted something else? I'm done. I've asked everything I wanted to. He throws up his little arms in the air. It's over? By the gods. Can you give me free legal advice? Oh yes, I'll gladly assist a member of the Earth Guard any day. Just ask. Should I invest in stocks? Oh, that's not legal advice, that's financial advice. Who's paying me? Oh. Oh. I do not give, nor have ever given investment advice. But, yes. He looks you up and down. The goblin looks worried. I should ask, have you ever bought shares before, cleric? I don't think so. Okay, some basics then. Popularized by late Divine Era human adventure companies, a share is essentially a percentage of ownership of a certain venture. Divine Era, a period lasting 379 years, named for the birth of many walking gods around the coast, ended 538 years ago. Could be a guild, could be a company, or a specific adventure, something that is supposed to grow over time so you can increase the value of your securities in that venture. It's a risky way to increase your capital without actually doing any real work. So why is it risky? It sounds like free money. Good question. Imagine you invest in an adventuring party. They head into the Verdun Hills to dive into some Gate-era tomb or an esoteric area filled with awesome talking cats. Something weird and dangerous, but with potential for a lot of cool treasure to be found and brought back. There's a major chance that those adventurers will die out on their journey. If they do, you lose all the money you invested. They could make it back, in which case you get a percentage of the treasure based on your share, but how often do adventurers come back with a bunch of treasures these days? So, should I buy stocks? Look, there are rules in place. Norfolk has laws governing what one can and cannot suggest. Buy stocks in me? The little red devil stares at you. If you were to set yourself up as an adventure, then maybe? I mean, you could convince someone to invest in you, without breaking any laws regarding investment advice. I'd be impressed, so why not? After the election, cleric. What about currency trading? That's something I've heard about too. Oh, that's just the art of switching between various currencies. Say you've got an old pouch of embers. That is, the old Dracota coins. Embers, the currency of certain former dragon colonies in Old Dimidor, made entirely in gold, which makes them quite valuable to this day. They're made of gold. Okay, so I just learned what they were. Got it. So even though there are no governments these days who support it, you could always just sell them for the gold value. Great, that's the most basic form of it. When it comes to city-backed currencies, it gets more complicated. If you got 10 Brimmarks, the currency of Blood City Bay and its subjects, they come in both paper form and soul-infused iron coins. And let's say you want to convert them into Reedsian tens. How many do you get? Tens. The currency of the Free Shredder Revolution. While free cities have multiple currencies, the magical paper of reeds is quickly growing into the most valuable across the coast. 10? No clue! The value of each currency fluctuates day to day, as does the exchange rate to each other currency. Not to mention the location as well. Tens are powerful because of the far reach of the free strider trading charters. Bear marks are near useless in Norvik, so the exchange rate, while still not nothing, is quite low. That makes Blood City corporations way less interested in investing here, which then perpetuates the weak value of the currency. Sigs of old Diminor are used at some places, sure, but bring them out of Norvik and any shopkeeper will laugh at you, holding out those shiny little crystal discs. Sigs, the currency of Thazen during the Arcane era. It's still in use in some places, but these magical crystalline discs are only supported by a handful of cities and regions. Thazen, the greatest of the floating cities. Ooh, floating! Center of the Hagen Dim coalition and captured essence of the nameless fourth apprentice of Europe. It was the most esoterically powerful city-state in history, and famous for its shadowy 10,000 feet long tentacles that could be seen in the sky for 100 miles away. Jesus. It fell in the year 481 AE. It was rebuilt, now on the ground, in the decades after. Hagen Dim Coalition. The united megocracy of the Hagen Shags and Diminori. This was arguably the most powerful of the Arcana states, set to rival the strength of warfare during the Gate era conflicts. Their merger is considered one of the first bricks laid on the road to the Coast War. While the penning is accepted automatically, almost as if it's a slightly less valuable crown. Penning. The currency of the Visca kingdoms, as well as several dwarven fiefdoms of the Undercoast. It is commonly accepted coinage in Norvik. Then the soul, on the other hand, extremely valuable, just because of the Golden Horde's influence. Golden Horde. Remnants of a celestial empire in Divinitorum, led by a horrifying choir, a hyper-intelligent light being. They spread fear throughout their lands, as well as parts of western Ascati. Divinitorum, one of the 8 bands along the coast. It is an Askew plain, a slope growing into the sacred wasteland, home of celestials, birdfolk, and originally halflings, as well as the scars of divine warfare. And the Ilium, oh my god, there's so many currencies. Johnpala, those weird little ice cubes. Well, Johnpala, the currency of the Ilium Empire. Looks like a piece of ice, very rare to say Norvik. I'm guessing you've never seen one and never will. Take one to an exchange station and they will quite literally think you're messing with them. But yeah, that's some info for you. That's a lot of info. He has been factual. Nice random coinage. He nods and grins. Economy, you know, messy and fun. That's all I have to ask about stocks. Hope you learned something, Cleric. Yes, I did. What about alignment? Ah, yes, the over rules of morality. Norvik doesn't moralize over alignment, officially. Nor do most city-states across the coast. Why don't we lock up all the evil folk? There have been states through history who have tried to. They ended up not doing so too well. I'm no expert, but I would say it's mainly to do with the origin of this evil. It's selfishness at the core. It's got nothing to do with how people actually act. If you only allow the most good-hearted of folk to roam free, you'll end up with a country of nothing but good intentions. Ironically, I've heard the road to hell is paved with those. And you, being a devil, are, yes, you're evil. Oh, yes, indeed, it is pretty easy to spot. He flaps his wings. It can be pretty discriminatory at times. People assume I have the worst interest in mind just because I'm ontologically evil. You don't have the worst interest in mind? Look, evil is not some objective thing. It's entirely internal and aligned with your subjective opinion. There are good folks who ruin the world, and evil folk who do their best to maintain it. That's the deal. What does the law have to say on resurrections? That's one hell of a question. He smirks for a while. Higher tier resurrections aren't illegal. They're just not available anymore. There are a handful of known divine resurrection spells. Since the death of Earth, there have been no documented instances of successful resurrections above 3rd level. Not available. Figured a cleric would know better than me, but, he says and shrugs, spells over 4th or 5th are rarely seen these days. If you want to know why, go pray. Your god grants you magic. In his wisdom, he only grants higher power when needed. In your lifetime, it has not been needed a lot. After Earth died, it's a bit hard for even the top-ranking clerics to manage higher tier magic. At least, if you believe the rumors at the towers, which you should. What about low-level resurrections? There's Revivify, that's it. High-ranking officials love having clerics run for this one spell. Bunch of pussies. Does a murder still count if the victim is resurrected? He thinks about the question for a bit. There's been cases. Heard of a man stabbed in a bar fight, bled out just in time for a drunk cleric to arrive. Cast Revivify, and the bloke lived. The stabber ended up getting charged with major transgression of personal well-being. And that's not murder per se, but I'd argue it had more to do with the fellow's barrister making it clear to the judiciaries there was no killing intent. So not an accident, but not a murder, just a brawl gone too far. That'd be a hard sell if the victim wasn't breathing. A complex scenario, something clerics often have to contend with. But in most cases, I'd say yes. So don't go around murdering folk and revivifying them, cleric. It'd be a waste of a spell slot, yes. And evil. But also a bit funny. Very funny. Would be kind of funny, but you know, don't. What a nice little internal monologue I have. Oh shit, I didn't see those chats. Hello, Hannah Clark. Yeah, I am enjoying Esoteric. It's pretty fun. Sorry I didn't see that earlier whenever that's sent. This is my third playthrough, but I missed a bit of stuff, so I'm still, like, finding new stuff. Are you legally considered alive after resurrection? There's a lot of yapping, which makes my throat dry. Yes, for all intents and purposes, you are alive. Undeath, on the other hand, would be a very different affliction. Necromancy is not just undeath, but all undeath is necromancy. Right, only an animated corpse without a soul would be considered illegal undeath type necromancy. Exactly. As long as the necromancy is considered of divine origin and the soul is returned to a healthy body, then it is considered as a normal resurrection. If the origin is more black magic shit, as they say, or some kind of corpse animation, then it would be considered as bodily sacrilege. And that's a top-tier criminal offense. How top is it? Oh, it's up there. Does death absolve your crimes? Now you're asking real questions. But no, it does not. There's been actual law signed in old kingdoms over this shit. He leans in looking excited. Got the devil going. That's a good thing? So classic story. Alright. A real bad guy is caught murdering his neighbor. Real sick shit. He's executed after a quick trial. Justice wins again. Everyone's happy. But surprise, some holy man raises him up a couple months later. Death and rebirth. How long have you been playing this game? This run's been going on for, I want to say, 3.5, 4 hours, but I have 34 hours total. So, you know, nice. Yeah, it's a really fun game. I'm really into it because I love D&D and I love Disco Elysium, so mashing it together is just pretty awesome. This game's graphics and mechanics is dope, right? Very much so. I really like the art style, both the world itself and the dialogue graphics. Holy man or foul necromancer. Two sides of the same coin. In this situation, the bad guy did technically pay for his crimes. His life was taken by the state. Just because somebody gave it back to him doesn't change that fact, right? Well, people weren't too happy with that, as you can imagine. So is this your main game for stream, or you usually play other games as well? I kind of do a mix. So far, I've streamed Marvel Rivals, FNAF World, Repo, this, and let me look at some of my other things on my YouTube channel. Such nice gameplays, thank you. I think so too. And I've done a bit of GTA at the start, but I haven't been playing it in a while. I do want to do like a variety of stuff. But I'm kind of focused on FNAF and this game right now. Maybe one day I'll stream Disco Elysium. You ever play Stardew Valley? No. My friends keep on telling me to play it, but I haven't. I have Terraria. I hear that's kind of similar. I've actually played Don't Starve Together as well before, but it's been a while. You suggest I try it? Probably will one day. How much is it? Let me look that up. It's on sale for 50%? How long does that last? Till the 26th? I'll put that on my wish list. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks. This a common legal term these days for capital punishment is DIP. DIP, death in perpetuity. Stands for death in perpetuity. Thank you. Kind of funny when you think about it. Where am I from? I'm from Canada. Still living there. I'd say it's pretty dope, but I've never lived in another country, so I don't know if this is good or bad. But I mean, I'm chilling. It's a very nice place to live. Yeah, it seems like it. I'd say it makes total sense. It does. The city of Norfolk might be a big bureaucratic mess at times, but believe me, that the law keepers know their shit. So to keep criminals DIP'd, most states tend to hide, lock up, or simply burn corpses and spread the ashes using non-resurrectable methods. So a properly DIP'd guy shouldn't be able to return without the use of some miraculous 9th level spell, which obviously these days isn't too likely. By the way, you know if you become channel affiliate, you can usually earn a good amount of money from this platform. I would like to get there, yeah. I'd like to get there, yeah. Because I do like, you know, like YouTube and Twitch and content creation. And, I mean, it's fun. I'm having fun doing this. It'd be sick to play games, which is something I like doing. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, other people playing games inspired me to do this, so, and they make money, so hey, if I can make bank, I'll be pretty happy. So, but for this, you should give your channel some cool identities so it attracts viewers. Yeah, I'm trying to do that a bit. I mean, I got like the draw. I mean, I think I already have a bit of a style, maybe. I don't know. Like, I have that thing in the top left corner which I drew. And I made a YouTube channel and like a TikTok as well. So I'm trying to post on there to get more attention. Yeah. I always hear that Twitch is like actually bad for discoverability. So in order to get big, you kind of like have to use TikTok and YouTube. So I'll be trying that. What about Charm Person? Charm Person. Such a fascinating spell. I have it. I used it on someone earlier and it backfired. Immediately. Of course, all spellcasters are required to be registered in Norfolk. It's the same in all not completely chaotic city-states. There are certain spells that are just not allowed, like Fireball is a popular example. Fireball, 3rd level evocation spell. Causes fire to emerge at a given point, spreading within a 20-foot radius, filling up available space. But Charm Person is, despite its devilish mind control, legal if it is cast by a registered cleric or city-hired interrogating mage. Private entities are not allowed to learn or cast it, although... Oh shoot. Thank you for the follow, Hannah. Appreciate it. You have a great stream quality, you deserve a follow. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Can I cast it on you? Sure, but it'd be a waste. Since I'm already your friend, cleric. He shoots you a devilish grin. I love this guy. I'm in this server, the Esoteric Ebb Discord server, and this guy's an emoji apparently. But he looks different, but it has like the same name. I have some questions about a PPG. As a permission of public gathering? Yeah, I think I know what you're getting at. He does look over his shoulder. He's aware of the dwarf's plight. Oh, I already like dealt with that. What would you look for if you're investigating a PPG? Okay, so maybe on another run I can ask him about this to like solve the situation quicker maybe. Wording, legalese can get pretty complicated and a good barrister could twist that stuff into oblivion. You have a Discord server community of 2,000 members. We support small streamer and YouTubers. I'll think about it. I'm in a lot of servers already on my list, and I try not to, like, join too many, because what'll eventually happen is just, like, I don't talk in any of them. But I'll consider it. I'll consider it. Other than that, I check the basics. Name, spelling, dates. A single lithographic error can cause a landslide of troubles. He smirks. I know from experience. The Asgall dwarfs got an expired PPG. Expired? Huh. Strange. Why's that strange? Just seems like such a strange mistake. Asgalists are known for many things, but making a mistake like that, it ain't one of them. Gaming tournaments? Alright. Is that your handle? Like on Discord? I don't know. It just seems strange. Though if the dwarfs got an expired legal document, they should leave. They have no legal right to be there. Alright, I'll do that later. Thanks. Thanks, I appreciate it. What's a PPG? DM takes a deep breath. A permission of public gathering is a legal document showing the intent of the magistrate of a certain district to allow an individual of a party represented by that individual to gather in a public space such as a town square, street, or city tunnel to perform, protest, exclaim, fraternize, or any other non-commercial activity. Got it. Can I have a PPG? Not for me. Ask Darrow. Nicholas Darrow, chosen magistrate of Tolstad, a man known for little else than being the great-grandson of Borgo Darrow, the legendary right-hand man of Earth. Borgo Darrow. Why am I saying it like that? Borgo Darrow. The first paladin of Earth, founded the Earth Guard, as well as the illustrious Darrow bloodline, known for his bravery and inability to be damaged in battle. Died of a heart attack at age 40. His passing is used as an example of the importance of aging men to keep track of their cardiovascular diseases. Or maybe don't, unless he got some really important message to deliver to the people. Darrow who? Magistrate of Tolstad. He's in charge here, basically, arguably. He says a quiet part out loud for comedic effect. How long does it take to get a PPG? A week, depending on your contacts and your pouch. That's all about the PPG. I'm getting hungry. Should get a snack soon. He stares off into the distance. Oh, you were saying? I've been talking to this guy for like 30 minutes. This is not advancing the plot at all. You hear about the tea shop? Yeah, of course. Pretty hard to miss when flying past Tolstad. What's your take? It blew up? Not sure what else you want to hear? What do you think you blew up? Yeah, I can do it now. There you go, I sent it. Honestly, haven't seen a blast sound like that since the Coast War. You didn't hear this from me, but the little fellow trusts you. He's your friend. The scorch marks look like those from a fireball, but not the kind you get from a trigger-happy pit fiend. We're talking high-level wizard stuff. Pit fiends are known to cast third-level fireballs at will. Be careful, cleric. Powerful forces are at work here. Thinking about it for a few more seconds makes it clear to me that it's all a big cover-up. Wouldn't be the first time a city-trained spellcaster goes a little off the hinge. Slander! The city does not train people to explode. Other than that, not to be self-incriminating or anything, but could be a fiend. Or an elemental. I mean, Waterland has shipments from Cargamish every other month. Maybe a fire elemental slip through? Who knows? Easy answer tends to be the right one, but somehow I'm not so sure. A fiend, huh? Don't look at me like that. Worst thing I can do is turn to a bat. An abnormally handsome bat, of course. But I suggest having a chat with the owner of the tea shop. Who knows what feathers were ruffled, eh? He gives you an ominous chuckle. Citizen, nod and leave. Incense, money talks, hell yeah. The owner of the tea shop is unaccounted for. Locate this bird man and find out what he knows. Yeah, I'll find this bird man. Ooh, 10 HP, nice. What's this? A divine shrine untended for decades. What other gods are there? I already got all of them. Prepare spells. Can I get more? No, I only found these so far, damn. The amount of spells you currently have prepared. You can prepare spells. It's 2 plus my class level plus my intelligence modifier. Wait, so what's my modifier right now? 3? So that'd be... I can prepare 7 spells? Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, I got a 6 in Constitution, so I've been dying. I've already died like once from someone talking to me. You show me some examples of professional displays? Maybe later. Maybe later. Overgrown, ancient, sort of interesting. Embedded in the earth, you find weather-bitten stone in the shape of a spiral. Its edges are worn down, smooth almost, and behind you lies the head of what was once a snail statue. Whatever god of symbolism this once denoted, time has ground it down. It is a monument to nothing now. There's something here, but can you understand it yet? Its purpose? Touch the surface. It is cold. Your hands run across the stone, finding it more coarse than you thought. The ridges in the spiral are even smoother. You find they are not at all coarse. Following it, you feel the markings of a sculptor's pick, but they are smoothed out, as if produced not by mortal hands, but by magical precision. You realize this was most certainly an esoterically constructed art piece. What's more, you do feel the outline of a script, symbols. Your fingers trace them faintly along the spiral shell of the snail. The symbols do not mean anything to you. If you had comprehend languages, you can understand the script just by simply touching it. Comprehend languages, a first level spell meaning you to understand the literal meaning of spoken and written words. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. What's with this snail stuff? Norvik is built upon layers and layers of ruins. One of those layers, one of the oldest, were snail folk. Thus, you'll surely find many of these snail symbols and spiral shapes around the city. What are we thinking, Snell? It's a rock. Slapped a monument, and what a rock it is. Good rock. Great, even. He chuckles to himself. Tell me your secrets. No response. Cleric? Tell me your secrets, damn it! Punch the monument. Your fist makes contact with the hard surface. A crack follows, along with a shooting pain up your arm and spreading through your fingers. Oh my goodness. The crack is your bones as well. Holy shit, you okay, Cleric? You okay, Cleric? A bit of a stroke there. Nod. You're alright, Rock. You're alright. The rock stares at you, menacingly, but a piece of it fell from your vaunt act. Pick up the shard. You put it in your pouch. How did you actually damage this rock? What strange material is this? Ah, yes. This is a highly esoteric rock. You can find more of it around the city. Collect as much of it as you can. Great, you got some ancient snail rock. Can we go now? On and leave. Rifle. Money! My favorite. Old faded posters nailed to the wall. They're unreadable. Actually readable posters. They're still kind of old. Your eyes land upon a series of papers nailed into the wooden facade. Getting out information to people. How do you do it? One possible way. Papers nailed on random walls. You'd be surprised how effective it can be. Some of them are torn or unintelligible. A few catch your attention. This seems illegal. Advertisement requires strict approval from the government. Tear them down. Rip them up. Look at the flyer with the owl on it. S. Yellen and Sons. Binders and lithographers. I'm going to put that into Google Translate because I do not know how to say that.
Lithographers.
Lithographers. There we go. I bet that word's never going to come up again in the game. Everything from designing to engraving. Account, books, manufacturing. Water Lane View 6 LW. This place would fix your ruined spell book. It's a prayer book, and yes, this place could help with that. Look at the... Oh my goodness. Look at the old one saying, grand opening. You can barely read the faded lettering on this ink-printed flyer. Fly. Okay, this is unrelated. A third level transmutation spell. Causes the target to move themselves freely in all directions, ignoring any gravitational loss. The speeds one can reach with this spell are quite intense and have killed many a wizard over the years. Grand opening of the Stubborn Sphinx, brewery and commercial tavern. Served without riddles, drunk with all charm. Pillar Crossing, 2nd LW. By the look of it, this tavern opened at least a year ago, maybe 2. Look at the posters with a faded green hammer. A sunny faded symbol covers most of this large poster. It's a hammer printed with green ink. Asgalis, those who share the plight of the common folk. Gather ye workers. Asgal said no gods above, no king below, only folk. Asgalis rally on the 22nd of March, TS, Circle Square up. Useless sentimental garbage. You can't just gather people like this. The city is surely against this erroneous collectivist behavior. Rip down the posters and tear them to shreds like a good man. You furiously tail at the paper, ripping them from their nails and throwing them to the wind. Wonderful. You've asserted force into these terrible evildoers. Can we go now? Nod. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Ooh, money! A bike lane. One bike stands out to you. A handful of bicycles are stationed at the local rack. Bicycle, a land transportation device first popularized in the early arcane era, originally invented due to the difficulty of transporting horses to the floating magocratic cities. They are scared of portals. Bicycle, a tool for the common man to reach distances efficiently and safely, an invaluable tool for an egalitarian society. Bicycle, famously used by free striders during the early revolution to escape the magocratic forces, now a symbol of many free cities and raids. I sent you something on your Discord, so when you got a chance, reply me? Okay. Bicycle. Bikes are nice. They are nice. Bike racks are stationed in many places around the city, usually in locales with lots of stairs. There's a stillness here, an uncommon sight at the heart of the city. This particular bike is yours. Check the channel. You lean in and take a closer look. The rusty chain seems brittle but wrapped so hard around the tire that it would be annoying to get it off even if you had the key. Why would you wrap it like that? You should take better care of this magnificent bike. Good. No one will take your bike. Not even you, apparently. Wait, this is my bike? Yes, you fool. Keep up. Sure is. Best way of traveling in Norvik, except, of course, on this godforsaken island fortress. Where's the key? Not here. Did you lose it somewhere? Could getting the key be a quest? That does not sound like a quest you would get. Find the missing key. The mystery of the bike key. Something like that would be perfect. No quest to be here. Just sadness. Damn. The key's probably at the bottom of the river, along with the rest of your dignity. Hold on. When exactly did I come to Tolstad? On the 21st of March. Evening. Then you fell. And this is as far as you came. The hair at the back of your neck stands on end as you sense a sudden shift. I stumbled over the stone railing. Yes. And you broke the shit out of it. Was I alone? No. Do I recall anything important? You chained the bike. You stood up. Then pain. This is where I fell into the river. A goblin glances over to the broken fence. Interesting. You must have had a lot to drink if you took a stumble like that. I do not consume alcohol. Yeah, sure. Gives you a curious expression. The expression says, how the hell are you alive? Concerning everything, we better play it cool. Real cool. It's fine. You got my back, right? He chuckles. Nervously. Of course, cleric. He glances down to the river once more. A hint of fear. You see anything strange about this bike, Snell? No? It's a bicycle. He does not care. You like bicycles? Not particularly. You want to know a secret? Not particularly. This is my bike. Yeah, this seems to add up. I love this bike. Uh-huh. If I remember where the key is, can I bring the bike with me? He takes a breath. First of all, don't ask me. You're an adult. Do what you want. Secondly, how the fuck are you going to take a bike around Tolstad? Are you going to carry it? Up and down the stairs? The bike rack is set up here so that people can leave bikes before heading down the stairs to Waterlane. I could do that. Oh, you could? Yeah? If you find a pocket bike, that's another thing. Pocket bike. A popular magic item. Mass-produced during the late Arcane era. But is in dwindling supply these days. The goblin sighs. But leave this one be, cleric. We got work to do. Bye, bike. Alright, I think I'm gonna take a break. And by break, I mean get off stream and continue tomorrow. I got some stuff to do, but we made a bit of progress, so that's nice. Thanks to everyone who stopped by and watched. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.